Hi, do you find difficulty in making important life decisions? Do you feel that your confidence levels needs to be improved? Are you limiting yourselves and feel that you are missing the right opportunities? And are you constantly wondering why these things are happening to you? There might be many reasons for this, like your upbringing, habits, beliefs, and more. But the best part is you can reprogram yourselves by just changing your thinking pattern. So, how do you do it? We have designed a step-by-step procedure to work on your thinking pattern. Join us in this free 21 days online meditation program where you learn simple breath mindfulness meditation techniques that help you improve your overall health, decision making, and confidence levels.
Happy evening, Masters. Today, we have Dr. GK with us, who will be sharing his wisdom. Dr. Gopal Krishna, fondly called Dr. GK, a medical doctor by education, is a spiritual scientist who dedicated himself for the well-being of people at physical, mental, and spiritual levels through meditation, pyramid energy, and spiritual wisdom. He established Spiritual Tablets Research Foundation, a non-religious, non-profit, voluntary organization under the guidance of Brahmarshi Patriji. With his 24 years of meditation practice and wisdom, he devised wisdom capsules called spiritual tablets that empower people to self-heal through their own meditation and wisdom. To share his wisdom, he established several virtual and physical spiritual tablet centers across India and abroad and successfully helped more than 10,000 people heal themselves of deep illnesses to date. Dr. GK is currently living in London and working to impart this wisdom across the globe while doing his postgraduate programs. Today, we are happy to have Dr. GK to share his experience on spiritual service and how the spiritual tablets one can use to heal themselves. I welcome you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. So, hope it is audible. Any
Yes,
background noise you are getting? There's
no,
a fan
sir.
here.
It's audible.
Yeah. So, sorry about that. I'm in a corner village near Visakhapatnam. I came to India just 15 days ago. And today I came here to inaugurate one small rooftop pyramid. There's a crisscross with today's class, the local program. So I came early and I can address the stipulated time. After that, I'll proceed with the rural program inauguration of the pyramid. And it was built by one of the master who is working for Spiritual Tablet Foundation. So she didn't leave me since last 1 month. She's standing behind me to visit. Otherwise, I don't have any outside program. When I booked this class through Lalita, when I'm in UK. So coming 5th, I'm leaving back to UK again. And so once again, thank you very much for Buddha CEO Foundation and Chandra Palmarsetti, especially devoting his great time in UK currently. Today, there is a 2-day workshop going on in Manchester, where I live. And so we pulled Chandra Shekhar from London all the way to Manchester to conduct session for 2 days there. And all the Manchester masters are really fortunate to have his physical presence and a 2-day retreat, I can say the manifestation retreat. And since last 3 weeks, we are working very hard for this Buddha CEO tour in UK. And I made my contribution in US as well, because I traveled to 4 places in US, and then first week of April, second week of April, I was in US. And I came to know about different programs in different places in US as well by him physically. And after COVID, we are able to travel and conduct a lot of programs everywhere. That is really very happy. Yeah. So, madam, you have to give some push-up for me. So, what to do today and how what is this group, how this is going on?
So Saturdays, it's basically masterclass sessions here. So on specific topics that we cover. So
Oh.
today it will be healing illnesses, major illnesses through spiritual tactics. So
Yeah,
it will be
that is
great.
the
You
topic.
can share your wisdom, sir. We are always there to
Yeah.
listen to you.
Okay. So you told that Dr. GK is from UK, but the background seat is looking like okay. I can do some filters. It's okay, no problem. Internet and all a bit compromised here. Anyway, so let me share some of my slides so that it will give good time management. Hope you are able to see my slides.
Yes, sir.
So this slide I designed usually in every workshop. What happens is I was the last person to address to the people because I'll be a backup most of the times. I'll try to give opportunity for the rest of the speakers as much as possible. In general, what happens is some speaker will, for some or the other reason, he'll be absent and I'll get, instead of 1 hour, I'll get 2 hours. That is what my agenda. But the thing is, by the time all the speakers has spoken a lot and he's already, blackout, my it is only the last hit to give a good punch. Hope the rest of the speakers have already done a brilliant job before I address with my spiritual tablets to you. Are you able to hear any sound?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So after coming to Zoom, people cannot give clap sound. Okay. So that's why I made an arrangement. For every slide, there will be a clap sound so that people also don't sleep. And I also have good encouragement. So please bear with that sound. I try to remove it before coming to the class, but it's not happened. It's okay. Thank you. So today we are going to discuss about the basic wisdom, spiritual tablets, the wisdom capsules. Whenever I conduct this workshop in rural India, the whole day long, I'll go with the workshop and with a very brilliant voice and enthusiasm, I give all my spiritual tablets to the people. But at the end of the day, a senior citizen sitting in the last bench, when I am just passing, closing the workshop, he will hold my hand, he will ask me, Dr. Saab, you said you are going to give some tablets. Give me the tablets, I'll go home. Since morning, I am waiting when you are going to give tablets. So today, I don't want to be in that position. So the spiritual tablets are not physical tablets. They are wisdom capsules. You have to read those books. You have to listen those audios through your ears. You cannot take these tablets through mouth. Of course, when you are by-hearting some certain slokas as a counseling advice, you may need to use your mouth, but not to eat something. It is to only to utter those slokas to by heart, whether it is Bhagavad Gita or whatever. And intellectually, you have to understand those concepts, and then the rotten old belief systems will be replaced with the new beliefs, the dynamic beliefs, and that is going to give us a great, health what we are expecting for. So the perfect health, whenever we consider the perfect health, is always it's a sum total of physical, mental, social, and spiritual well-being. So whatever the body mind science we are dealing today, it gives only the physical relief and it considers only the physical being health, at most a little bit into mental frame. But when we are into the spiritual path, it will cover all the planes, the physical plane, mental plane, social plane, the relationship problems, financial problems. You cannot go to a doctor stating your relationship problems and the financial problems. Okay, but you can go to a bank or a well-known people, but they cannot give you the idea how to earn money. But the spiritual tablets and the spiritual wisdom does. Okay, and people may have everything, but some people will say that I have a deficit, a small deficit somewhere. I don't know why the deficit is there, from where it originated. So even that spiritual deficit also can be covered through this spiritual path. So today, in a nutshell, we look into the what is true health science and the comparison between the existing and the true health science and the true story of the illness and different soul scanning methods we use and the diagnosis part, and finally the basic spiritual tablets in a nutshell. And because this is your first session, maybe for this batch, I think I'm addressing first time. I think so. Earlier I addressed, and I'm not sure that those people are here. So that's why I want to start with a brief introduction class only, so that you'll understand where from we are working. So this is a standard quotation, everybody know, health is wealth. And so here, every health science, every happiness, it starts with a hope. So in this slide, we have to understand the hope is required. Especially, I want to quote this. Whenever patients come to us with a illness, the lifetime illness is chronic illness, or the illness where all the doctors are completely hands up and there is no medicine for that. Lifetime, you have to go with the rehabilitation and then, conservative management. So in those areas, if we have a proper solution to the spiritual tablets, where we are already proved enough, we can say them, we can give them hope. Yes, this can be cured. There are people already has completely cured themselves, and then they are happy today without any medicine and without any steroids. So that's why here the hope is everything, the first part. And then and usually health means people simply thinks that it is only sickness in the body. Okay, it's not only simple sickness in the body, it is beyond that. So according to the World Health Organization, we have to understand that it is the sum total of physical, mental, and social well-being. So that is how we need to understand the complete health, So we are seeing so many therapies today, allopathy, homeopathy, Ayurveda. There are 18 systems. So most of the systems, they are working on the physical level, a little bit into the mental flame through the energy patterns, healing they do. So here, the true health system works on the intellectual plane to give them the true understanding about life and about the potential, and understanding about the other side of the coin, that is the spiritual part of the life. So this example, I love very much. If you take a shade, on the water, so beautiful, we can see the hut on the water. If you want to remove that hut image in the water, if you go and, make some disturbance in the water, immediately you won't see anything because the water is disturbed. You think that the hut image has gone, you will go away. If you come after 1 hour, when the water comes to a tranquil state, stand still, then again you will see the image as usual. So here, what we are understanding, what to understand is, the physical body and mind is like that water image. So the disease, the root cause of the disease is like the hut proper. So if you want to change the image or the color or the shape of that particular hut, you have to go and work on the hut proper, not on the image that is reflected on the water. Whatever the disease we are seeing today on the physical body is nothing but a replica of the internal disturbance that is occurring in higher planes. The energy planes are above that, the intellectual planes. Whatever the manipulations we are doing, like disturbing the water, momentarily it looks like it has gone somewhere, but it won't go anywhere because the energy block is still there. And again, it will disturb the energy flow in that particular body part, and the disease again will pop up. And the film and the picture on the screen, if it doesn't like the movie, you cannot on the screen and then you simply say that the movie has gone. No, the film is still there. The projection is still there. We have to work at the projection if you want to change the movie, what you are visualizing. The movie we are seeing on this physical system and the environment with the relationships and all, it is only a picture we are seeing. The true projection is from inside, from the intellect, from the soul planes, the purpose. So similarly, the same example. So before going into the spiritual tablets, we have to understand our true potential. You might have already given all this theory with the other masters and through Chandra sir. But just I want to scan all these things to put in. So we are basically the energy, consciousness, and wisdom units, not simply the physical flesh and bones. You need to understand that we are energy means the cosmic energy, the sum of cosmic energy flowing through the energy channels, the energy tubes, and the chakras, and then the wisdom that we carry intellectually. The combination will automatically improve the internal consciousness. So the consciousness is a functional matter. We cannot dissect and see it. If you improve your wisdom and energy, the consciousness automatically will rise. And then the 7 body structure, the physical body, etheric body, astral plane or mental plane, and spiritual body, causal, supracausal, and nirvanic bodies. So these 3 we have to understand. And once we understand the first, the top 3, that is causal body, supracausal, nirvanic body, and if we add the meditation part and spiritual book reading and spiritual sharing, the top 3 will be cleansed, and that gives a proper wisdom in the spiritual body plane, that is Vijnanamaya Kosha. That automatically transfers to the Manomaya Kosha, and then the energy patterns will be clear and the physical body will be clear. So from headache to cancer, if you take any illness, it starts in the higher planes, the 5, 6, and 7. So if we work on those 5, 6, and 7, which are unseen, it will automatically reflect, it will automatically change one after other until we get relief on the physical system. So I'm just giving a nutshell explanation of the 7 bodies, but there are, in the Theosophical Society, if you go, there are books for each and every body. So they name until 5 only, but they gave a very brilliant and scientific information in Theosophical Society books. And when we say I am, so the body, the mind, intellect, and soul. So these 4 planes we have to understand. And then if you go to the social plane, the Kama, Artha, Dharma, and Moksha. So these are the 4 planes. We need to look deeply into it. Once we understand that these are the 4 planes in our social existence, then we can understand the whole story of the illness and how to work on it. Here the Kama means desire, means the body desire, mind desires, intellectual desires, and soul desires. There are 4 types of desires. Usually the material people, we see the common man, the common man, they'll have body and mind desires. They never have intellectual desires and soul desires. If all these 4 desires are there, then only we can say one is complete. And these desires should be like, it should not be too much greedy. Just we can put a simple, a note to the universe to get into those things. And then Artha means the meaning of life. One is the half part is the wealth, money, and the arts. And Dharma means the 2 spiritual laws which are governing the whole universe. That is what Dharma. Dharma means it is not the moral values that we follow today. The Dharma means the true spiritual values. And then Moksha, that is liberation. I call Moksha is living in the moment and happiness that we acquire in day-to-day life. So here, any misconception in the above planes will automatically cause an energy deficit in our internal energy system. So whenever there is an energy deficit, that automatically attracts the bacteria as well, virus, and then tumor growth may happen. The physical, injury may happen. And physically, we see that it is a disease, but behind that there is an energy block. Behind the energy block, there is a knowledge, deficit. So here the deficit in the knowledge means understanding the true potential, purpose of life. Anywhere, there may be a block. So this automatically gives a diseased physical body, So when we have the physical disease system, and again will deteriorate, that will again leads to some more miscarriage. So this is a vicious cycle. That is where the common man is evolving, So whenever we look into the spiritual aspects, and if you do meditations, apply the manifestation science in your day-to-day life, then automatically you can relieve those blocks, and then slowly the cycle will be disrupted, and one can gain complete health and happiness. So here we say the illness is not the problem, but simply it's a part of the feedback system pointed out. So the real problem may be like it's iceberg phenomena, the tip we are seeing, but if you look into it deeply, there is a major reason behind that. So most of the times I used to surprise, at the symptoms the people will get. What are the symptoms we are getting on the body and mind? In fact, it is a feedback system for the body and mind to correct the intellectual patterns, the wrong beliefs. That's why they get. If I explain some symptoms, then you will be surprised at it. Even the disease symptom itself is trying to correct the wrong way, the wrong path we have chosen in our life. So here, the investigatory methods that are using today, those are all pointing towards this body and mind system. Okay, so we have to extend these systems. The whole neurosurgery department has extraordinarily improved after invention of the MRI, and then after invention of the drugs which cross the blood-brain barrier. Until then, neuro department is almost, you can say, very tiny job it is doing actually. That invention really made it extraordinary. Similarly, we need to extend our investigatory methods to look into what exactly the disease is. So here, the tools to identify the illness we use as an investigation, the soul scanning we call, is like the meditation experiences they get during meditation, what are the experiences through third eye they perceive, and the day-to-day dreams. Initially, the dreams may look like, very fake, and then they are not make any sense for us. But once you are into spiritual path and doing regular meditation, into plant-based diet, and then automatically what are the dreams we get, they completely shape and they start giving a brilliant guidance to us. And then coming to the coincidences, what are the coincidences that are arising in day-to-day life? So they are all the energy manifestations. And then the inner voice we get, the intuitive guidance, and then the physical master's message. When you are working with the master, so they will scan you and then they will give you a direct guidance. That itself is a great advice and then importance for us to check ourselves and then go in a proper path. And what are the spiritual books we are reading? And the spiritual books clubs, thanks to the book clubs, thousands of clubs, the Buddha CEO Foundation is conducting. So they give you brilliant information. That information, whatever, digestible to you, going smoothly into your intellectual system, that itself is a great experience. It is a tool actually. Because if you read book today, you will understand certain things. After 3 months or 6 months, again, if you read the same book, now the same book will be understood in a different manner. It is not the book that is changed, it is you. So that's why the information we are getting from the books is also important. And then final day-to-day analysis, that is also very, very important. Every day we face a lot of situations and how they are arranging and rearranging and giving us a feedback information. And then finally the disease part. So we have developed a lot of wisdom based on the disease part for what purpose they are meant to be. And then based on that, we give some spiritual advices like the Louise Hay. She gave a lot of spiritual reasons for every illness in the book Heal Your Body. And similarly, we develop a lot of spiritual wisdom capsules for each and every body part. Usually we use it very, of late we use in a later stage. Suppose they are not getting any experiences, any of the above said things are not there, means then we look into the physical body part and we try to give them some good reasons based on the physical body part. And then coming to the meditation experiences, so different types of colors they see and the background of the vision, and sometimes they'll see the spiritual masters and then animate and inanimate objects. All those objects give us a symbolic information. Sometimes they'll see some scrolling messages, so future probabilities. So all these things, some of the experiences usually we consider the meditation experiences. And then the dreams they get, they will give the pitfall informations, what we are doing in day-to-day life. And some of the experiences are prediction experiences, which gives us brilliant information to support us to go in a accurate way. And there may be a bijunctional dreams where, because we are totally tuned to the material life today, most of the times we go with the underlying basic ground common sense, the material common sense. But all of a sudden your internal consciousness system will show you that you are in a bijunctional. Hey, look into if you think like a spiritual being, the divine being, this is your path. If you go with the ground common sense, this is your path. So that bijunctions will arise, and then it will immediately the next day you will change your decision. And then of course the milestone experiences, these are a series of experiences, will give us a constant guidance. When we are going in a big shape on a sea, we'll plot the points so that we'll understand where exactly. Of course, today we got the GPS, it's a different story. So here the milestone dreams will give us a constant guidance for a period of 10 years and 15 years so that we can track our progress. Similarly, the coincidences we experience in day-to-day life, they also give us a good information. And then, so like that, all the 7 types of experiences comes under 7 spiritual tablets. And then, so the whole spiritual tablets, there are around 525 today. Earlier, when I started my meditation health clinic in 2003, there are around 350. And I used to conduct 3-day workshops and 11-day workshops to train spiritual doctors to understand the spiritual concepts. Later on, we used to give them in counseling based on the spiritual experience they get. So initially, we came up with 12 spiritual tablets. Those are the basic spiritual tablets, which gives us the basic understanding of spiritual path and the sadhana, the practices we are supposed to follow. And then there are combination of 2, combination of 3s, and then 4, 5, 6 up to 10, and that objects that symbolically that will come in our experiences in day-to-day life, like the transport vehicles and the fridge, TV, washing machine, grinders, all the objects in the house will have their own, symbolical explanations. And it looks like a bit weird, but see, if you go for an MRI or an X-ray, simple X-ray, okay, so you got X-ray done, and you will go to a radiologist, who has read 12 years, spent 12 years of his life to understand the MRI or a X-ray in his hand. For you, it's nothing, it doesn't make sense for you, but for him, it gives a brilliant information. There may be doctors here, I know some of them. So similarly here, over a period of 25 years, initially, especially the first 12 years, we have developed a great science using all these objects and body parts. So understanding the illness in spiritual means now it is just in fingertips. I don't surprise, even in future, there are some spiritual tablets, radiologists sitting in chamber somewhere. People will send their dreams and experiences. They will write the report based on the spiritual experiences they get, and it will go to the regular counselor, the general physician, and then he will use that information. So that is the science we are going to develop in future. Even in Google, if you type, if you get any type of day-to-day repetitive coincidences with an object or any dream, you just type in Google, you will get few websites give you the symbolical informations of all the animals. And thanks to Chandra, who gave me a book, The Animal Speaks. He said, hey, guy, you're speaking a lot of coincidences and symbolical expressions, so this book will be helpful for you. He gave me that book. By that time, already I downloaded a lot of information. Whatever I have downloaded from the universe is almost matching with that book written by shamans, the secret. It is a secret by shamans. Animal Speaks. So similarly, there are so many books. When I'm a college student in 4th year medicine, I'm slowly downloading all these informations. I used to confuse a lot. Is it really work? Am I becoming mad? Something like that. And then it's happened to be, I got a book from our masters, The Everyday Miracles. So that book really gave me a very great strength, because that Everyday Miracles book, more or less, the thought is similar, So that really gave me a boost. And after that, the Louis came. So like that, over a period of time, there are so many books came into my life, and they gave me, there are people with a similar thought they are working. Now I can go with spiritual tablets, no problem. See, people and healing is something like some physical matter should be there. Then only they will believe. At least the homeopathy pills, sugar crystals, but they do their job. But here nothing is there in front of you. It's all just wisdom. So it is very tough to believe, but really they are making miracles. So here, now we are looking into the 12 basic spiritual tablets. So maybe you are aware of all these things. Whenever a new patent god comes to us, first we put them onto this paracetamol, all these symptomatic things, like the doctors give you the painkillers and the symptomatic drugs. So similarly, we give the basic things. So there are the basic 6 and the advanced 6. The first 40 days to 3 months to 6 months time, based on this Viyat awareness and the people's maturity. Repetitively, we use all these basic things, and above this, the other spiritual tablets automatically will come. So the individual meditation, one has to do intense meditation in the beginning days, and then the pyramid. If they use the pyramid as a technology, it gives thrice-fold energy, and we use the body parts pyramids also, like the calf pyramids, chest pyramid, knee pyramids. Wherever there is a pain, they can keep a pyramid or there. That gives a lot of energy, and then immediately they'll get some healing effect. And group meditation sessions we conduct, especially when we work with the cancer cases and autism and the bedridden cases, when we work with them. So the group meditation will happen over there. They won't give any healing energies. They will do their meditation. That automatically brings a beautiful environment, the energetic environment that gives a lot of indirect healing effect. And then the full moon meditation sessions are very, very important to know the reason behind the illness. So most of the cases, when we advise the ashrama dharma, that is residential spiritual training through the spiritual tablet system in rural admission centers, we have established more than 25 rural admission centers so far in Andhra Pradesh. So there, most of the cases, the serious illness cases, they will go and they'll stay there for 40 days. And any serious illness with a intense pain and problem, the moment they go there, and if they stay in that natural environment and the pyramid and the positive atmosphere with the vegetarian zone and the master's presence, within days, so even I used to feel surprised at times. To get that symptomatic relief, minimum it may take 10-15 days in the regular hospitals, but after going there, within few days, they'll feel very ease, they'll come out of the disease and they'll feel ease. Their appetite will increase, their sleep patterns will change, and what are the pain that is there, they'll get relief. So that's why that kind of residential retreats usually we advise during full moon days, in and around full moon day. 1 week before or 10 days before, they'll go and they'll stay in those ashrams. And once they work on them with the silence and sessions will happen over there, and they'll read a lot of spiritual books with the Ravage Jewel 4. And then they'll get brilliant experiences during those full moon days. That may be a dream or a meditation experience. That gives a beautiful clue to look into the actual reason for that illness in an intellectual plane. So that's why full moon day is one of the most important thing in spiritual tablet system. If someone is unable to progress, then immediately we advise them this residential retreat during full moon days. And then plant-based diet is very, very important, which gives a good support to maintain the energies and the channels in the body. So it's a human body is a vegetarian vehicle, basically. So that's why that plant-based diet we advise. And then optimal diet and silence. So here the optimal diet means it is not only the limited food we are taking through mouth. All these 5 senses has to be fed with a proper inputs, whatever we are seeing and listening to other people. So all these 5 senses has to be optimal, like in Bhagavad Gita says, Iktahara viharasya, iktachesasya karmata, iktasapnava bodhisya logo bhavati dukkha. So all this food and the movie and sleep patterns, all these things should be optimal. They vary from person to person. We cannot rationalize, generalize to everyone. Initially, I used to sleep 8 hours, of course, 9 hours or 7 hours. I worked since 2003, I worked on my sleep patterns. And then when I was in Andaman for 1.5 years, as a part of my enlightenment in 2001 and 2, I slept only 2 hours in a day for 4 months. Of course, I used to do a lot of meditation, but the standard sleep is only just 2.5 hours. So now, practically anytime if I sleep, in 3.5 hours, I'll awake, and then I'll work for another 2.5, 3 hours. Again, I'll take power naps. Those power naps will be from 4 minutes to 40 minutes. Sometimes in 4 minutes, I'll woke up. But that astral projection just for 4 minutes, that gives a brilliant relief, So these are all certain expressions. So that's why here the optimal diet means all these 5 senses, including the sleep, it should be different from individual to individual. Day by day, if you are understanding the true potential and if you make yourself a spiritual being means, then all these diet patterns will completely change. One spiritual master in postal retreats, she is not eating anything, almost like a Jasmine, I can say. Daily she will take only 1 coffee, once in a week a simple dosha. It may not be there. Her pattern is like this since last 5 years. And her weight, her moving, everything is quite normal. But she's not. So she tuned her body in such a way that she is not taking any food. So that's why the human body, until the consciousness is very brilliant, and the way we are using all those things today is we are going with a common material rationale where the people has seen only the one side of the coin, half printed. So if you look into the spiritual part, the opposite half, then we'll understand the true potential, and then all these ifs and buts and can'ts will completely dissolve, and we can rise with a beautiful energy. And coming to the other 6 concepts, tablets like sharing of spiritual experiences with other people, and then reading spiritual books, health science classes, the spiritual science classes we conduct, and spiritual life health counseling, and So here the counseling part is like we listen to them in a great way. Nowadays, the patient God also has no time. Doctors, of course, no need to tell. So it's all like a few minutes job, But here the counseling is something different, where we listen to them very patiently. The patient means he doesn't have patience. If the doctor also doesn't have patience, no healing will happen. So patiently we listen to them, and then there, that beautiful symphony, the music they give will give a lot of clues where to go work, what tablets we need to give, the spiritual tablets, the wisdom capsules, and we spread across the 3 months or 6 months. Of course, the day one we don't dump, we give them only the basic things. And we allow them to take all the other supports, like whether it is allopathy, homeopathy, ayurveda, whatever they are using, we allow them. It is like a tapering mechanism only. So once they take the wisdom capsules, and over a period of time, slowly the other support systems they are using will automatically reduce. So during this life health counseling, we consider all the spiritual experiences they get, and through that, based on that, we give them on a written basis. We give some spiritual tablets, books, and to whom to talk, what permits to use, the diet patterns, how much time they have to meditate, when to come back again, to do some ashram dharma or yogic nights, to buy some slokas, to watch some YouTube videos. Like that, we give a spiritual prescription. So initially, I used to feel mad, what I am giving the spiritual prescription. Sometimes these spiritual prescriptions will go in the regular doctor's prescriptions, and they'll go with the other doctors, and they will see what is this. Simply, they can't understand. They are used to the regular allopathic prescriptions, and this prescription will give something, alien to them. But I enjoyed all those days. So now my successors are trained, well trained, and they are enjoying those. Now I'm not anymore in counseling, and enough I did, and I enjoyed it, in fact. So unless and until it is a very serious illness, I may not look into it. And then, of course, the checkings, the living in nature, it is also very, very important. And then finally, the spiritual science service we are supposed to do. So the spiritual science service is the contribution that we are making to the community from us. And so here, what you give, that comes back around, that we know all the giving principles, very well. So that's why slowly, once they got some relief, more than 50%, then we advise them to do the spiritual service based on the purpose they have chosen. Even that will be propped up very well in their day-to-day experiences and dreams, and according to the law of attraction they get. So based on that, we advise what types of spiritual service they are supposed to do. And then, so just to give you understand very well, I want to show one beautiful triangle here. Here the triangle means like in the one corner, you will see the spiritual reason, and the other corner is the physical illness, and the other corner, the third corner, is like different objects. Okay. So if you take the low back pain and all the leg problems, here the reason is like the individuality. We say people, you have to stand on your legs, something like that. They have to be individual for their own. They have to earn for their own. Similarly, the spiritual way, one has to open their third eye, and they should get their own guidance internally. And the hard work patterns, wherever we are supposed to do some repetitive jobs, the hard work, that also comes under this low back pain, another reason. And the constant learning attitude we are supposed to maintain on the earth plane. So that learning attitude is also one. And accepting the opportunities which are coming in different directions in life. Usually, whenever we got married, people are close to the other half of the either maternal or paternal. We are close, either son-in-laws or this side. But we are going into a group to learn certain things from that particular group. So that's why even though we don't like those people, but we have to open to all the situations that are coming into our life to learn something and to expand our consciousness. And of course, the stability lesson as well. So these are some of the 4 reasons we apply at the root chakra level, are the low back pain and all the illnesses in and around that low back. And then the object science here is like the cycle, as I said, hard work, and to some extent the two-wheeler, the shoes and slippers and lower part of the dress, chair where we sit in the house, the office or house, and the sitting postures and the lower part of the dress. So these are some of the object signs usually we advise. So whenever they come with a problem, initially we advise them the basic spiritual methods to improve their energy. But after some period, they will get some brilliant experiences in their day-to-day life. So these experiences will give us a true clue to work on these intellectual planes. So to give these lessons, we advise them different spiritual tablets concepts. For example, earlier I had said there is a hard work, So there is a concept called hard work, intellect, and philosophy. So initially, every work will start with hard work, and then slowly we develop the intellect, and then we move on to philosophy. That is, applying the thought power or all sorts of spiritual means we do. So when they look into those 3 qualities, then they will understand, oh, I'm at hard work patterns. So like that, to give all these intellectual abilities, we use different spiritual concepts as a tablets. And once they listen and they go through those books with all the examples, sooner or later, these objects will pop up in day-to-day life. So once these objects pop up, what happens is, so the rational mind will accept the concept that we are giving. Usually, we get some social problems saying that my daughter is, not listening to my words. My son is not listening, and they are completely aggressive. They are going in their own, mind. Of course, they don't listen when you see. Nobody is ready to take the other people's words. Here, I'm trying to explain how the spiritual tablets, the beauty, and how they work. So we start with basic counseling, the meditation and all. And slowly we allow them to understand the symbolical objects. So what happens is, repeatedly these symbolical objects, whether it is a cycle or a two-wheeler or the objects they use, so they will undergo some kind of wear and tear, or sometimes they will be lost, or similar kind of dreams they will get. And here and there, again and again, they will repeat. So this rational mind, which is not listening to that particular, transformation, will understand that the day-to-day life is teaching me something through law of attraction with all these object signs and coincidences. Then we link up the concept to the object. So even though they are ready to jump into that hard work patterns, again and again, they will get problem with these hard work related objects. So one day, the rational mind will be killed. Then the true intellect will start listening to the, lessons, and they will apply those things. That is the brilliancy of these concepts. And it looks like people won't listen to it, but no. Indirectly, we change the scenario to a larger extent, and within few months, they are bound to jump into the spiritual lessons and they have to apply. That is how greatly we are working. And there is like shoulder to hand and fingertip. So now this is again another triangle we are trying to establish here. The pathology behind the spiritual reasons behind illness. So basically these hands are to give and take. It's very simple reason, simple logic, What is the purpose of hands? To give something and to take something. So wherever you are giving something to the universe or people, put a check. Look deeply, put a magnifying lens, what exactly you are giving. Is it really true? Is it right? Is it has to be given at that particular moment of time? What you are supposed to give, what you are giving, whom to give, whom not to give. So it's a big science. And even the receiving also, what you are receiving from the universe, what level you are. When you are a child, whatever you ask, it will be given from the universe. Once you are a bit mature, what you think that you are deserved, that only you will ask and it will be given. Later on, you think that the universe is big, big. Whatever it is giving, it is more than sufficient for you. Just you won't ask anything, it will be given and you will take. Because now you are mature enough that the universe has a big picture about you and you won't ask anything, but it will give brilliantly. So like that, all the receiving principles also you have to understand. And shifting from Karma Yoga to Jnana Yoga, that is nothing but instead of giving roti kapada makan, the social service, the spiritual wisdom service is far, far better. And the other things like these are also for specialization, like at the elbow, if it is elbow extension, the remote giving, and it is the wrist part, it is the direction how we are giving, and then if the fingers artistic way, it is a super specialization which I don't want to quote now. And then of course there are certain ego patterns also will come here. So these are all the true spiritual reasons about the shoulder problems, hand, and of course the spondylitis part. And here the buttons, the upper part of the dress, the big spoons that we serve, the checkbook, all the electronic based things, electronic related things in house, and any giving and take related objects will as an object science. And so these are all actually spiritual tablets only. Similarly, the constipation to colon cancer, if you take the 6 passions, the Arshad Varga, we call it as desire, anger, miserliness, pride, jealous. So these are all Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Mascharya, Lust. So these 6 are unwanted things in our intellectual system. So if you remove those unwanted things, and the unwanted thing that is to be drained out from our body, from the mega colon, will work in a proper way. So the major mistakes we do in day-to-day life and the daily programming failures. So here the object is the commode, toilet, and the lack of individuality in groups. And some people will get the fecal matter dreams and experiences and the washroom related experiences. They don't understand why they are coming. But if you come to Dr. GK and spiritual tablets, we give a very beautiful explanation, which helps you a lot to work on your mega colon problems, from simple constipation to colon cancer, the irritable bowel syndrome, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease. These are all the very, dreaded illnesses. Best friends, they become best friends for the people, or the patient got to carry the whole lifetime. But if you work on Arshad Varga, just these 6 tablets, beautifully they can come out of the illness. And today we have investigations with us. An ulcerative colitis patient, after 5 years, they got a normal colonoscopy, and Crohn's disease cases, IBS, and they're totally symptomatically, even the pathology also completely cleared, and they're happy just because they work with this Arshad Varga tablet. There is a beautiful pocket book on this. And then similarly, the upper part, the gastritis and gastric ulcers, all these things, And so with this, we conclude for today. Be a doctor unto yourself by learning spiritual tablets wisdom. I gave in a nutshell, I gave a gross idea and what exactly the tablets, and a few questions I can take after meditation. So here, whatever the wisdom we are getting, it is only a drop, the version. Constantly we have to learn, and whatever we are learning, if we are in that learning process, we won't catch up any illness onto our physical system. So, and so, thank you very much for giving this opportunity. And to quote, people will ask me, being a medical doctor, how come you got this great, valuable medical degree? I agree, the medical degree is very valuable. It is doing a brilliant job today, no doubt about it. And apart from that, when I started working with spiritual tablets, I am successful in cases like myasthenia gravis and some of the autoimmune disorders, and first and second stages of cancer illness. Third and fourth, there are cases, successful cases, but we are successful in giving them.
Thank you for that amazing wisdom. So Q&A we can have for some time, sir.
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes. So friends, please raise your hands if you have any questions. Yes, Karuna Masheti, please unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes, Karuna.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm in US. I went through your previous slideshow about gastroenterological problems like colon problems. Can you talk more about that Ashwagandha that you said?
Arshad, yeah.
Yeah, Ashwagandha.
See, basically,
so for someone who is suffering from that, how can they get helped? Do they want to come and join your institute and get help? Can get helped on that?
Yeah, it is so simple. So we have our digital platform website. So
Okay.
through website you can contact the spiritual gastroenterologist. I can say GA. We have our own people who exclusively deal with these GA cases, especially the mega colon part. And Vijaya Madam and Priyanka Gar from Delhi. There are 3-4 masters, and in fact they have gone through the same major illness in their life, and they have completely recovered and got the normal reports today. So they will guide you through the process. Initially, of course, as I said, the 12 tablets, the basic meditation part and the plant-based diet, all these things you have to follow. Later, once you start getting some spiritual experiences, then they will note down all the experiences you are getting. And we have published a book also, pocket book. It is available on the website under the title Arshad Varga. And you can go through that book. It is available in English language as well. So if you read that book, and especially the people who are suffering with that GA problems, they will clearly make out the blocks, the knowledge blocks they are carrying since childhood, and immediately it will hit there in some areas. So once they start working on those areas, and if they correct those patterns, then immediately they will get miraculous relief on the physical body in their illness patterns. So this is how we work on that. And spiritualtablets.com is the website. And in that, you will get the US contacts. And maybe after 10 minutes, Dr. Ravali from Phoenix, she is going to take the question and answer session. She is trained, well-trained spiritual tablets trainer. And in fact, she started her journey from Buddha CEO only. When I was in Atlanta last, she is there. Thank you, Ravali, for joining. So the people are.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure is mine, sir. Pleasure is mine.
So when I am giving certificates to around 13 or 14 masters here, everybody is saying my journey started in Buddha CEO and landed in spiritual tablets. So thanks to Buddha CEO Foundation for giving brilliant spiritual doctors to me today to work with. And they are well carved in Buddha CEO Foundation, and then they learn spiritual tablets now. Yeah. So I advise that pocket book for you that gives you all the answers and different possibilities, some positive success stories. It gives you a complete whomsoever you are advising, suffering with those colon problems. Yeah, thank you. Next.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Geeta madam, I saw your hand raised. Please unmute yourself.
If you don't ask any questions, Dr. Ravali will ask me so many questions. Maybe she is ready always to ask me questions if you don't utilize it. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for the wonderful class. And sir, I have been suffering from IBS for 7 years. And initially I was taking antidepressants for 3 or 4 years. And now a type of serotonin type of tablet I am taking, D-Benis. The tablet D-Benis is suggested by the doctor, gastroenterologist, and I am taking that. Still, I have that problem. Though the medication helps me a lot, still I have the problem.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. So whenever there is a group of illnesses, the thumb rule is we start from below upwards, So we start with the root chakra. So here we need to work with this, the megacolon problem you have, gut problem. We need to work with it. So I advise you that sincere counseling part, once in 15 days, you can, in Zoom breakout rooms, complete privacy, and you can talk one-on-one with the spiritual counselors who are well trained in this. So they will get information from you, and based on that, they will advise you some spiritual concepts, and they will identify out of these all 6 Arshad Vargas where exactly you are, going in a wrong way or whatever. And then once we erase that patch, then automatically you will get a brilliant gut, and then slowly we can ascend upwards. So parallelly, I suggest you to read some of the Ramana Maharshi books, Lord Ramana Maharshi, and Who Am I, and Ramana Ashram Leklo. There are 3 or 4 good books by Ramana Maharshi philosophy. So meanwhile, go through those books, which is related to this, the other part we are saying. And regarding the gut, that regular counseling also will be helpful. And please go through that book, Arshad Varga, which is available in English in our website. Yeah. Ravali, please give your number here so that people can contact you. You can direct them. If they are from India, they'll contact to North India. If they're in abroad, you can take it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you. So initially, I used to meditate for my own concentration, memory, and small illnesses, etc. Once I attended the neurosurgery in the neurosurgery department, I attended surgery, early morning 4 o'clock to night 11 o'clock. Of course, I am a just duty medical officer, and above me there are again 3 levels, surgeon and super surgeon and all. After completion of the surgery, I came home and I am meditating for my peace, to come out of the stress. The voice started in the tape. From headache to cancer, any illness can be cured by just observing breath. So I was so angry because there are around 10-15 staff, doctors, paramedical staff, 10 lakhs worth microscope, and the doctor comes from South India, Chennai, all the way to Visakhapatnam only to do the surgery. And we are the assistant doctors and intense observation. Still, we are not guaranteed to remove a small, ball of tumor that is there inside the brain. So he is simply observing breath and understanding wisdom will cure all the illnesses. Am I mad to follow these signs? So with that angriness, I tapped the tape recorder. It was broken and then it stopped. I went into sleep. So as usual, around at 1:30, 2 o'clock, I woke up with a beautiful dream. And in that, I am entering into a room where there is a lot of lumber is there in that lumber, old rotten things. And I removed everything and finally I pulled out one chair, which is very good actually. I don't know why they kept in that lumber room. And on that, I have seen some letters written very clearly. By the time I was awake in kind of lucid dream, I'm conscious. And then if I stay there, I'll manipulate. So I came out. And then the explanation part went in. It is my usual internal dialogue whenever I get a dream till today. So I realized, so how stupid I talked last night, for myself, and then thought, so maybe he might have cracked that knowledge behind that illness. So that's why he's very confident and he's saying all these words. So why don't I, being a doctor, it is my duty to understand the true reason behind the illness. Without working on it, how can I simply say it is not there and it is not correct? So actually, by that time, I think 4 years have passed. I am getting these spiritual tablets in one way. But so that is the day I thought, and in the midnight truth, no, from today onwards, I should be very serious about whatever the wisdom is coming to me. And while working with the patient, God, and even on my body also, I worked a lot. Every body part will undergo some or other kind of illness. I'll apply my tablets and I'll come out of it miraculously. So sometimes my friends, my colleagues used to crack a lot of jokes on me. For each and every small thing, I tell something for them. And I enjoyed all those days. But till today, it's a big research. And we are very confident and successful in giving miraculous solutions from headache to cancer. And of course, there is a time and everything, how much they follow and how much the family members, environment will cooperate, how far they will digest these capsules. Okay. Like the allopathic tablets, these also will have reactions. Okay. Sometimes you digest, sometimes you cannot digest what we are saying. So all these pains they have to go through, but there will be a miraculous cure. So I'm thankful to Buddha CEO Foundation for inviting me today. And sorry for the crisscross and improper presentation. I'm happy that Chandrasekhar is in UK. He may not watch this serious session. There is no proper lighting and signals are cut. The rural areas work is entirely different, So almost for more than 18 years, I worked in rural areas. The major success part for me is the cases I did today in rural areas is more than sufficient for the whole lifetime. If you go the whole life, they'll be on the bed with those chronic illnesses. There we tapped them. We used to put the 10 energy supports, the pyramid on the bed, in and around green, pots, and the crystals, soft instrumental music, regularly group meditation session in that particular room, all the curtains and bed sheets with the higher color. Like that, there are 10 energy supports for the chronically ill patient who is immobile on the bed. And then a spiritual master will attend, a daily master will go and make them to do meditation. Within 6 months, they will, stand straight, they will get up from the bed and they will get their beautiful walk. So that is a great success. It's a simple MBBS degree, I can say, but it's a great wisdom. So that's why today, if anyone comments or says something, I'll just listen. Okay, one day you will come to me. Okay, until then I will wait. These are the only thoughts I will get, nothing other than this. Okay, other than that. So thank you very much for this. And I'll pass on to Dr. Ravali. She'll wait for some time. And if any questions are there, she'll take it. Yeah. Thank you.
I just want to say something. This is Aruna from US. I am friend of Lakshmi from Manchester. She is, she is my childhood friend. I'm from Isaac too. We are both from Isaac. So just wanted to thank you very much for this session. she introduced me to spiritual tablets a few months ago, and I just said, yeah, I will start it. Did not start it, but then I came across this session, and now I got a little bit more information. Recently, I started getting anxiety. I don't know why. So I thought, okay, maybe this is time for me to start this, and so I joined and will start it.
And so where exactly you are staying? You said
in US, Kansas, USA.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, but she is a very good friend of me, Lakshmi. So she said to say hello also.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And yeah.
Thank you, Dr. GK. That's an amazing wisdom, as always. We have been listening to you for quite a long, but every time it's a new wisdom that we keep gaining. So yes, rural area projects, net issues, but still amazing sessions by you, sir. Hoping to meet you soon.
Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dharmendraji. Beautiful love symbol you gave to me today. Yeah.
Yes, friends, if anybody of you have any questions, we have Dr. Ravali with us.
Yeah, good evening. Well, I'm very much obliged that it's privilege to me to have this wisdom. It's a noble wisdom that I have taught by Dr. ZK. And I'm enjoying the lot from myself also, and the people and the patient associated with me. And it's a great holistic treatment for the well-being of different elements. And I'm really very much obliged and enjoying this part of my service. And it's great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So yeah, thank you so much, Veena ma'am. So it was last moment when GK sir called me, so I had to come all the way rushing. But it's wonderful. I started my journey from Buddha CEO and landed up in spiritual tablets. But it's a wonderful, wonderful wisdom that GK sir carries as a person, and great service is doing. And wish everyone to explore spiritual tablets and be your own doctor rather than surrendering to someone else sitting in an office room. Okay, so we create our own diseases, and we have that ability to cure our own diseases, definitely, for sure. So thank you so much. If there are any questions, please.
I think we have no questions. So thank you, Ravali, for joining in for the last minute confirmation. So grateful to you for having joined the session. It was a real wisdom that we always gain from Dr. GK. So thank you. Thank you, masters. Meet you all in our next Saturday masterclass. So do join in for our Sunday long meditation tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 a.m. IST. Sundays, longer meditations are to be more powerful. So please do join in and get benefited. Thank you.